And a very good day to you. Hopefully you're doing well out there. This has been a stubborn pattern. Finally, some spots in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast seeing their first little bits of snow all season long with just a little coating. But it's been this darn ridge of high pressure keeping those plow companies that are not on seasonals very frustrated, just not able to make the money, not putting down the blade at all. High pressure has been stationed somewhere across the southeast towards like Bermuda for much of this season. That's caused drier air. It's also pumped in warmer air. It's sometimes just a little bit across the southwest, and at other times all across the middle portion of the nation, Great Lakes and Northeast. So snow cover has not gotten to be extremely prevalent. You've seen the cold air come down and enough storms to get into portions of the northern plains, into the northwest. That has not been an issue, but northeast, there's a little bit of cold and snow. You see areas with 4-8 inches on the ground, Bangor, Maine, with about a foot of snow or so, but you have to get into New England to really see much snow cover. It's been fine as far as snow across portions of the upper Midwest into the Twin Cities, down into Sioux City, Sioux Falls. Plenty of snow, plenty of cold at times. And the West, of course, has been extremely active at times, melting in some areas, but for the most part, still a major snowpack. So ski resorts and plow companies happy, but maybe a little bit overtired. It's going to get extremely cold. This is going to be a rare trough into the Northeast. It's going to produce the coldest weather of the season, or at least for some, the second coldest. These are wind chills for Saturday morning. -20 to -40 something degrees. Absolutely crazy and very cold even more inland with -5, -10 or so. This is all due to this big time trough of low pressure system that's going to be dropping on in. There you go. That's Arctic air. A brief blast, though, for like Chicago, Cleveland, DC, New York. The biggest cold is as far into the Northeast. That will pull away, and we're going to get some ridging to try to come in with some brief shots of chilly air at that point, but it warms right back up across the south. It's going to be a fairly mild pattern at times across the west and across portions of the middle of the country. The ridge will build in as we go in towards portions of next week. So little frontal boundary. This is a trough. It's going to bring in a little bit of snow, but also very dry weather. So just a little bit of lake effect. High pressure sets up shop. And overall, this is a very stagnant, fairly dry pattern. Another clipper tries to come in. Same story, just a little bit of light snow, maybe some into the Northeast. Then this system could happen as we go into next week. Tuesday, maybe a little bit of snow into portions of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, but this will be on the warm side. So we pull in mild air, we pull in rain for portions like Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania. And then snowfall wise, we're not looking at much. This is over the next week. Some spots a coating, maybe an inch or two in towards portions of the upper Midwest. That's it. That is it. Across the West, it's not an active pattern. We do have a couple systems that will produce some of that mountain snow, but outside of that, just not much. This is, for February standards, a very quiet pattern. Cool air at times over the next 6 to 10 days after some brief warm-ups in the next week, but mild air builds in after Saturday across portions of the east, and it really builds in. We're talking about lots of 40s and 50s with plenty of 60s and even some 70s down into the southeast. So yeah, change back to warm. We're not sustaining any time big cold, but with that, it'll be a wetter pattern coming on up, and we'll see plenty of rain and even some thunderstorms into the deep south. Not much snow, though, farther north. A little bit of a drier pattern, and that might be actually welcomed into the southwest. Thanks so much for watching. Make it a great one.